Hi again, everybody. Derick Van Ness here, wealth strategist, investor, and life adventurer, and I've got a doozy for you today. And I want to tell you just right up front, whether you realize it or not, you have been your own worst enemy in life. Yeah, you heard me right. And the reason I say that is this. Most of us are operating at such a small fraction of our potential, and there's a very, very simple reason and a key thing, right? But first I want to tell you a story. And this will help to illustrate the point. So maybe you know this or maybe you don't, but the Alabama Crimson Tide is a football team. They've been one of the best college football teams for the past decade. Their coach Nick Saban brings everybody's level up to excellence, and they're fantastic. And because they're in the South, if you don't know this, like football in the South is like a huge thing, right? They have some of the most ravenous fans in the country. But here's another thing we know about people in the South. As a broad stroke, a lot of them are very conservative, church-going, pious, loving, giving people, right? So all week long, they're these really nice, conservative, sweet people. And then they get to the game, and there are people swearing, and there are people going crazy and making all this noise and just having a ball, going crazy, right? But then the next day, because college plays on Saturday, the next day in church, they're quiet, hands folded in church. How are those the same people? And how does that relate to your life? And here's how. Those people who are generally very conservative, very quiet people have given themselves permission during that football game in the name of being an Alabama Crimson Tide fan to go absolutely bonkers, and they do it. And they're totally comfortable with it. And so that's the secret. What do you need to give yourself permission to do in order to become who you can be? There's a book out there I've been told that's on this. I haven't actually read the book called The Alter Ego, but it's the same idea, I understand, that you can become anything that you give yourself permission to be. I think I've told this before, but I used to do competitive ballroom dancing. I still do competitive swing dancing, but with ballroom dancing in particular, me going out on the floor and trying to be some sexy guy doing lap dancing was not my thing, right? I was totally mortified, totally scared of that. But once I gave myself permission and said, let me be a character. Let me pretend like I'm an actor and I'm going to be somebody else. So not me, somebody else. I could do it. I just gave myself permission. And so I learned this trick a long time ago. But if you just give yourself permission or create a character that you would give permission to and then allow yourself to be that character, just like these Alabama Crimson Tide fans have given themselves permission to be a crazy character, because that's what you do at a football game, when that may not be who they are during the week. You can do this too. So, what's going on in your life that you wish you could engage with? What are you scared of? What are you shying away from? What are you afraid to take on? What is holding you back because you're saying that's not me, right? We all have them. And so I'm asking you right now so that you can go out there and you can give yourself permission to become that. Start off by just trying it on, right? I just say put on those pants and walk around in them, see how they feel. Maybe it's something you need to try where you want to try on a different personality trait, being more outgoing or being more social. So maybe go to a networking meeting by yourself and just say, at this meeting, I'm going to be Miss Sally social version of myself, and I'm just going to talk to everybody, and I'm going to act like a character from a movie who's super social, who's a great networker, who everybody loves, and let's just see how that goes, right? You will be amazed at how fast you get to transform your life, because I believe that confidence comes from doing. You literally start doing it, and your life changes. I had this really interesting experience when I was in the 8th grade. I was kind of like a regular kid going to school, and I wanted to be like one of the cool kids, right? But we didn't have enough money to like buy the cool clothes. You know, at the time it was like Maury Boogie shorts and like Ocean Pacific shirts and Hobie shirts with like Hawaiian designs on them. This was like the 80s, right? But at one point my parents started making a little more money. We had enough money that I could buy some of that, but I'd never done it before, and I was scared to death. But we went to the store, I think we went to Mervyn's, if you remember Mervyn's, and we bought what I considered to be really cool clothes, bright neon pinks and greens and blues and all that kind of stuff. I'd never worn anything like that. I went to school the next day in bright neon pink. Now, you can imagine everybody was looking at me like I was an alien, but I gave myself permission to do it, and within 1 week, nobody was looking at me funny anymore for dressing that way. I had decided to give myself permission, and as soon as I was comfortable with it, everybody else was comfortable with it. So, the question is, what are you not giving yourself permission to be? Who are you not allowing yourself to live into or create as a character for yourself? What's really interesting is once you create the character for yourself, you'll find that that is part of you now. It has always been in there. You just needed to allow it to come out. So, my charge to you is go out, give yourself permission, and change your life. I'm also going to give you permission right now to reach down, smash the like button because that really helps the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel, help pass this on. This is the kind of stuff that will literally transform your life if you just allow it to. Give yourself permission to subscribe to our channel, and I will see you on the next video. My name's Derick Van Ness with Big Life Financial. I want you to live big, and giving yourself permission is the very first step.